And in the Impact segment tonight, the Supreme Court begins to hear the gay marriage argument. In France, perhaps as many as 1 million people are demonstrating against gay marriage. The protest so intense, police had to use tear gas. In Washington, however, it's a different story. There were also protests both in favor and against gay marriage, but the issue here not nearly as volatile as it is in France. In fact, the latest polling shows the majority of Americans now favor gay marriage. With us, attorney and Fox News anchor Megyn Kelly. All right, before the French, a lot of Muslims there. And that's what's driving this anti-gay marriage thing, along with some conservative Christians. They've allied themselves. But huge crowds in Paris, enormous anti-gay marriage crowds. Not seeing that here. I understand there are 2 cases. Explain them so even I can understand, which means you have to be very simple and talk slowly.
Okay. Well,
Good.
I came on your show when the Supreme Court accepted these 2 cases and said, I think this is going to be small ball. I don't think these are the cases where the Supremes are going to say yes to gay marriage and no to gay marriage, and I continue to believe that today.
All right.
The first case they heard today is about California's gay marriage ban, which the voters passed. They put it into their constitution. You can't have gay marriage. And there's a question about whether that is constitutional under the federal constitution. Can you do that? And I think the Supreme Court, based on what I heard today, is going to limit their ruling in that case so that it's only going to affect Californians.
And the ruling will be in California?
I think they're going to dodge it on procedural grounds. They have a couple of ways to get out of deciding it on the merits by saying, A, you didn't have standing. You people who are challenging the lower court ruling in favor of gay marriage, you don't have standing to bring this case. Or B, you know what, we never should have taken this case.
So they're going to dodge. That's going to cause a lot of problems.
I think they're going to dodge. I don't think people will be surprised when they dodge.
So if they dodge, then
the people who like gay marriage are going to be happy for a dodge, not as happy as if they would have.
But though in California, though, if they dodge, that means gay marriage is legal by fiat.
Yes.
So that just wipes out the popular vote there.
Well, yes, it does. But I mean, I think at this point, same-sex marriage proponents will take a win as a win.
I think so too. But what about all the people who voted against gay marriage? They're disenfranchised.
Well, yes, they are. But
right.
I mean, that's
all right.
They have a couple of years to live with that.
That's how you think that's going to come down
Small
there.
ball, I still think, on Prop 8.
Then the other one is the Defense of Marriage Act, signed by Bill Clinton, who now very, very much regrets doing it now that he's not in the office.
Well, but he makes a point of when he signed it,
yes.
You know, gay marriage was not big or even really being discussed much in the country back in 1996.
That's sincere, isn't it? So when he signed it, wasn't a big deal. Now it's a big deal. He changes. You know, I'm sorry.
Well,
Bill
people
Clinton,
do look at it at evolving standards.
Let me say this so you don't get attached to it, because I know that you don't want to get attached to it. You're a phony, Bill Clinton. You're a phony. It's the same exact issue. Same thing. All right? You signed it because you thought it was going to be popular, and now that it's not that so popular, you're against it. This is what sleazy politicians do.
Do you feel that way about Barack Obama, too? Because he came out, he was against gay marriage until recently.
Of course I feel that way again. Of course I do. They pander. They don't care about gays. If they cared about gays, they would have been on board in the beginning. And they weren't.
But even gays weren't talking as much about gay marriage back in 1996 as they are today.
I'm sorry. It's the same exact issue. All right? Now, you can change your mind on the issue, but you got to explain that in context other than politics. How somehow you evolved on this issue. I'm willing to listen to that, but I don't believe any of this is sincere. It's political, and it's just awful.
I mean, I think the country's views on this issue are changing. They're changing
But why are they changing?
Well, because I think that the same-sex marriage advocates have done a credible job of getting out there and making their case. I mean, for years, those who oppose gay marriage take the religion piece out of it for this, because there's no arguing that. I mean, the Christian religion teaches what it teaches. The Bible says what it says. I mean, about marriage and
but our policy shouldn't be made by that.
I know, so take that out of it.
Right.
So what I'm saying is that when you ask, for example, I had an interview with Tony Perkins of the Family Research Council. What is it about calling a gay union marriage that offends you? How does it hurt a traditional or heterosexual marriage? And I didn't hear anything articulated that was particularly persuasive. What people go back to...
And I agree with you 100%.
Right.
100%. And I hate to say this, Kelly. And next week I got something to Kelly that she's not going to like.
Oh.
I agree with you 100%.
Wow, okay.
The compelling argument is on the side of homosexuals. That's where the compelling argument is. We're Americans. We just want to be treated like everybody else. That's a compelling argument. And to deny that, you've got to have a very strong argument on the other side.
And the argument
and the
on the
other side hasn't been able to do anything but thump the Bible.
Their best argument thus far has been, well, marriage is an institution that for 2,000 years has been about a man and a woman creating babies.
That's
and
right.
Procreation.
The procreation is a strong...
But look how the society has changed. I mean, people, they talk today about would we be okay passing a law saying people over 55 can't get married because they're not likely to have babies.
Knock the music off for a minute. I got one more thing. I support civil unions. I always have. All right? And the gay marriage thing, I don't feel that strongly about it one way or the other.
But then you leave it to the states.
I think the states should do it.
I think the Supreme Court is going to come down on the side of letting the democratic process play out in the states.
I live in New York. New York has is fine with it. All right? I want all Americans to be happy. I do. All right. Now, real quick, the Defense of Marriage Act, is the Supreme Court going to rule it unconstitutional?
I think it's in bigger trouble than that California
you really think they might?
I think they might, but again, I don't. That's
if they do, then everything blows up.
No, it doesn't. That again will be a small ball ruling. They just say that the feds can't do what they did. It still will leave it to the states.
The feds can't impose any definition of marriage.
Yeah,
all right. Megyn Kelly, everybody. Oh, you got to tune in next week.
What's happening to me next week?
Oh, you are gonna. Oh,
I'm not feeling well.
So good.
That throb you have, I feel it too.
All right. We'll go to your house if you don't show up.
I want to say for the record, I kind of like the frog, Bill. You sound kind of good.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
I'm trying to butter him up before next week.
And talk about frogs. Glenn Beck is on deck. We'll talk.